اسمي Mustafa Arafa. I'm a professor of mechanical engineering in the mechanical engineering department. I enjoy teaching a lot to undergraduate students and graduates as well. برضو I enjoy doing research with برضو both undergraduate and graduate students. زي ما انت قلت في ال design area I teach subjects related to dynamics, vibration, design in general. Graduated from Cairo University in 1994. I did my master's there in 97 and then I traveled to the US, got my PhD in 2002. I joined AUC 2006 and I have been working here since then. This is my journey يعني in a nutshell. I have been working بقى in areas related to design, finite element analysis, vibration control, vibration damping. So I'm pretty much focused on the area of dynamics and vibrations and design for a long period of time. I sometimes do some consultation. This is normally بقى for the industry, for companies having problems or issues with vibration problems, excessive vibration. So I've done a number of these يعني consultation work. يعني one of them مثلا I remember was measuring noise in and around Hurghada airport because they were يعني they were looking into expansion plans. So they wanted to see how the noise of the aircraft is affecting the city and how future expansions of the airport may affect the city. So we did measurement of noise and also simulation. And if you add another runway or if you add more traffic, what will happen? This was one project for the industry. In many of these يعني industrial projects, I apply what I learn with my students in class في الحتة دي. يعني مثلا we do finite element analysis. We apply this in the industry. I use the same devices I use with my students at AUC to measure vibrations in the industry. It's all يعني intertwined or closely related teaching والresearch في الجامعة في اليونيفرسيتي مع industrial consultations.
تمام. طيب حضرتك you received the Egyptian National Award in Engineering Sciences مرتين.
Yes.
2008 and 2015.
انت مذاكر. دي اللي هي جائزة الدولة التشجيعية في العلوم الهندسية. Yes. 2008-2015. Also this is an award that is offered يعني annually by the Egyptian government اللي هو تحديدا أكاديمية البحث العلمي والتكنولوجيا أعتقد. And this is offered in recognition of normally يعني outstanding research efforts nationwide. I applied in both years and alhamdulillah I got the award in both years يعني. And I would say I've been focused on research on حاجة اسمها energy harvesting for a number of years. And I think this award, especially the 2015 one, was for outstanding يعني research in the area of vibration-based energy harvesting. The award in 2008 was probably because of harvesting and other stuff as well. يعني. So this is in a nutshell what this award is all about.
طيب خلينا يعني نخش كلام على الريسيرش بس خلينا نبدأ يعني ورا شوية.
Sure.
Your first research experience.
Yeah.
كانت عارف كنت undergrad ولا grad ولو تفتكر كانت امتى ومن التوبيك اللي حضرتك كنت شغال عليه.
Yeah, زمان قوي.
Professor.
This was back in 1997 I believe. Yeah, 1997. So unfortunately I didn't have the chance to work on research as an undergraduate. I did work on research when I graduated because I was appointed as a معيد اللي هو زي demonstrator or teaching assistant أو حاجة كده في Cairo University. So this gave me a chance to start early on in the academic career. And my first research paper was coming out of my master's thesis with my professor طبعا دكتور محمد مجاهد from Cairo University. And this was about a very specific topic in design which was using the method اللي هي قلناها قبل كده اللي هي finite element analysis to measure يعني put in a simple word يعني to measure the the deformability of gear teeth. So my whole thesis was on measuring how much teeth deform under load and presenting the data in a generic form that can be used by everyone. So my method was concerned with estimating the deformation of gear teeth. This deformation is important in other applications لأنه مثلا excessive deformation can lead to noise and vibration. So this kind of led me into my research اللي جا بعد كده اللي هو في vibration.
طيب what did you learn from this first research experience?
كتير كتير يعني I learned about perseverance. I mean, you can work on a paper for 3 years or on a master's for 3 years, and at the end of that period, you end up with a document that's maybe 100 or slightly more or slightly less than 100 pages and a paper. So this is all what you learn in 3 years can be في الآخر summed up in حاجة بالشكل. So I learned perseverance طبعا, and I had to learn of course يعني teamwork, because I had to work with my research group. I had to get trained from the research group, and then I had to train when I grew older, I had to train my younger researchers. So a lot of teamwork, a lot of perseverance. يعني ده كده mainly يعني.
طيب اوكي ال current research work بتاع حضرتك اتكلمتنا عن energy harvesting mainly from mechanical vibrations, كان splashing of liquids, وفي برضه fluid structure interaction.
Yes.
و vibration based damage.
يا خبر ابيض. Since I'm focused قوي دلوقتي في ال energy harvesting, maybe I should give you a little background about energy harvesting. Energy harvesting is the process by which you can capture small amounts of energy or power. Sometimes people call it power harvesting. Yeah. You harvest small amounts of energy or power. احنا بتكلم in the order of milliwatts to maybe a few watts. This is all what we can do. And how can you get this energy or power from sources that are otherwise wasted? And this is profoundly different from renewable energy. لأنه renewable energy we usually talk about kilowatts, بالضبط, kilowatts, megawatts, and even higher amounts of power for lighting بقى cities وstadiums وstreets وكده. In harvesting بقى we are focused at a much smaller scale. And the applications would be to power up the small sensors. تسمعنا عن IoT طبعا, Internet of Things وكده. So to power up small wireless sensors that can be scattered مثلا to measure various parameters like temperature ولا humidity ولا traffic ولا pedestrian movement ولا كده. So normally these sensors are powered by batteries, but then if you deploy many sensors, the costs of batteries and battery replacement and battery disposal will become huge. So with the rapid growth in IoT devices and the rapid advancement in the technology, and the sensors are becoming smaller and they are less power consuming, the trend is now to power up these sensors by themselves. So the trend is to develop self-powered sensors. So sensors can مثلا get their power from, let's say, solar. ففي ناس شغاله في السولار بانلز بقى زي دكتور مرسي وكده, or maybe wind. So my research is looking into بقى various sources. يعني مثلا how can you power up a sensor from the motion of human beings? If you imagine yourself walking مثلا in very crowded areas ولا حاجه, if every human being is going to step on a certain part, that's 70 kilograms or maybe less or maybe more stepping on something. This is a source for you, a source for energy for you to tap energy into, فاهم قصدي, and to get energy from that. Yeah. So I'm working with 2 undergraduate students on this aspect, how to develop a floor tile, which can generate some energy مثلا from pedestrians مثلا to monitor the flow of pedestrians ولا كده.
هو ده يعني ليه علاقة بالبيزو الكتريك اللي بيحصل.
انت مذاكر جامد قوي. هو the two competing technologies as you mentioned are the piezoelectric and the electromagnetic. We are still undecided لأنه they are competing. The piezoelectric is very nice in some aspects. Electromagnetic اللي هو induction, magnet to coil is very interesting in other applications. And our first aspect in the project is to figure out which one is more suitable. Yeah. and recent يعني projects were looking into generating electricity or for برضه energy harvesting from the vibration of trees or tree branches. Because في المحاصيل والأراضي الزراعية وكده you are interested in measuring the temperature and the humidity in these farms in order to make a decision of irrigation. يعني are you going to open the sprinklers ولا لا. It is no longer time يعني managed by time. Recent trends بقى انه دلوقتي it is up to the weather, and so مثلا if you have very dry and very معرفش humid conditions افتح امتى الرشاشات واقفل امتى. If you have rain يبقى ممكن اقعد يومين ما اسقيش وهكذا. So these sensors can be scattered in a field to measure the temperature and the humidity, and if you have trees you have vibrations. So can you use the vibration of tree trunks or tree branches to generate electricity? So that's another project. We haven't برضو لسه we are still in the dilemma of piezo ولا electromagnetic ولا كده. الناس بقى اللي بتعمل ريسيرش معايا دلوقتي I have a number of undergraduate students actually. يعني most of them are from mechanical, but one is from construction engineering. and زي ما بقول يعني it doesn't depend on age. يعني actually the younger you are, the more innovative and the better ideas you are going to produce. I'm working with بقى maybe sophomores, juniors, seniors وكده, and it's just a lovely team. يعني I learn from them, a lot every time we meet. It's just endless, يعني because at this young age, the students, they don't take anything for granted. They don't easily accept information, and when you don't accept, when you start by asking questions and you start not accepting facts, this is when you start getting out of the box and coming up with new ideas that nobody thought about before.
طيب بالنسبة للأندرجراديوت ريسيرش اسيستنت، ايه الكواليتيز او الكابابيلتيز اللي حضرتك بتدور عليها في يعني في الستودنت اللي هيشتغل مع حضرتك؟
They have to drink a lot of coffee. يعني they need to drink coffee. They need to drink coffee. أنا قصدي coffee إن هو يمخمخ. they need to drink. They need to. زي أقول لك إنه إيه just sit there, relax. بس get your coffee. That's all what I need يعني. وبرضه حاجة يمكن فرعية إنه I'd like you to enjoy playing in the lab. يعني if you are always afraid of touching a keyboard or always afraid of touching a wire, خلاص يبقى انت you're putting some barriers. بس I don't want you to be afraid. يعني let's know the rules, let's know safety. أنا أعرف كل حاجة بس I'd like you to go to my lab اللي هو I call it my playground. I want you to go. You have to enjoy going to the playground and
curiosity.
بالضبط يعني curiosity. العب بوظ كسر بس don't get hurt. بس يعني بالضبط.
ازاي الاندر جراديوت ار ايز بيستفيدوا من الاكسبيرينس ان هم يكونوا انفولفد في الريسيرش؟
Well, they can work through the work-study program, so they can be recognized officially by AUC. This is something that they can put in their CVs or LinkedIn profiles. And I think this is a nice recognition from AUC. It's something that you can be proud of. And if a student is interested in pursuing an academic career after graduation, طبعا يعني this might open up some avenues for بقى creativity, innovation, كلام بالشكل ده. Getting exposed to research and learning from older students وكده. So this might open up or make it easier for the students to pursue an academic career.
هو انا كنت حابب اسال على البوينت دي بالذات. يعني انا واحد مثلا شخصيا انا محتار هل انا عايز اكمل في البروفيشنال كارير ولا في الاكاديميه.
yes.
يعني being involved انا ريسيرش هيساعد في القرار ده؟
هيساعد شويه طبعا. it will help طبعا اكيد. it will زي ما قلت هيوضح لك شويه what is research and how different how different is it from product development or basics research in basic sciences. How are these different? It will make things clear. Even though my advice for students عادة يعني against all odds انه don't pursue an academic career after you graduate immediately. I would say go out, get a job, make some money, get involved in the industry, get a new experience, go out of the university environment for a year or two, and then if you find yourself suffocating, come back to uni. If you find it enjoyable and you are learning new stuff, you're learning, hands-on, as I applied. If you're in the applied field, then you can stay. The uni is always there for you. You can go work for 5 years and come back again to uni for a master's. But it's not the other way around. If you spend 5 years doing a master's and a PhD at uni and then you go out trying to look for a job, normally companies and corporations are looking for fresh graduates. So this is my advice. يعني طبعا it doesn't work for everyone. يعني maybe ممكن واحد زيك لا, you are focused on doing a master's, you want to become a researcher, you really enjoy teaching or you really enjoy research, خلاص خلاص في الحالة دي I can tell you go خلاص انت you are focused, فخلاص يبقى كده يعني. بس
برضه ممكن حته ان هم الناس اللي عاملين ماسترز او بي اتش دي هم سبيشاليزد في حته وعايزين يشتغلوا في الحته دي.
بتحصل.
فالموضوع ده مش دايما افيلبل.
بالظبط بتحصل كتير. حد فعلا يكون شغال في حاجه معينه ويجي يقول لك لا انا عايز اتخصص في دي دراسيا، فبيجي بقى الجامعه عندنا وساعات كتير بنقدر نساعده في الحته دي even though احنا مش متخصصين فيها. بس when it comes to science ولا كده if you can get some مثلا data from your company we can work with this data كده، فتلاقي الدنيا بتبقى لطيفه يعني.
اوكي طيب في الاخر كده مسج من حضرتك للميكانيكال انجينيرنج ستودنتس اندر جراد، يعني جنرال ادفايس على يعني الكورسات والمذاكره، موتيفيشن عشان يعني الانجيجمنت، عشان نعلي الانجيجمنت في الاندر جراد ريسيرش.
بص هقول لكم حاجه. اولا learning is a continuous process. don't be afraid to learn, don't be afraid to ask questions, مش عايز اقول to criticize بس يعني ايه don't be afraid to ask questions no matter how they are. Don't be afraid to speak out. Talk if there is something that you dislike about the university or the department or the courses or your experience ايا كانت. Don't be afraid to talk, speak out about it, because the only way that we can develop as يعني administrators وكده is when we hear back from the students. So don't be afraid to talk. Don't مش عايز اقولها مش عارف اقولها بالانجلش ازاي، بس ما تصهينش. في ناس بتصهين طنش بقى، بص يعني ناخد الجريد ده، ناخد الاهايه واروح وخلاص. فدي كده and if there is something that you do like also speak out. يعني مش بس هيبقى كله negativity يعني I want you to speak out in both cases. We can only develop يا جماعه when we hear back from you guys. And في الآخر المنفعة it reflects بقى back on the program, on the department, on the students وكده. مثلا tell us your experience from an internship. الشركات اللي بره مش شغالين بكده، شغالين بحاجة تانية. Then we can develop ourselves. Maybe there is something that is so obsolete that we are still teaching or still asking you to use in the lab. Maybe that is not the trend anymore, so we have to change وهكذا يعني. So just keep a dialogue. That would be my advice for the students. سواء بقى زي ما انت قلت عموما لا ريسيرش ولا عموما it applies to both يعني مش بالضروره نعمل ريسيرش وكده يعني.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you very much. Merci.